The new meta is here, y'all. That's right. Crimson Blaze is coming in with a hot start where folks are literally testing new and new decks and even taking them into tournaments already. So let's go ahead and dive in, just kind of see not only what's popular, but what's kind of doing well right now in the middle of everything while folks are trying to figure things out. So if you're looking for something new to play or just even some inspiration into your own deck building, then these decks that we got lined up here are for you. But we're going to start off with the most anticipated Pokemon, and that is Mega Charizard Y. So what we have here, it's probably some folks' like preferred partner, which is Entei EX. I like Moltres, but some folks don't like the idea of having to, wait on coin flips, so to speak. But Entei EX provides you something else, right? So whereas Moltres provides that ramp for you to really just get into that Mega Charizard Y very quickly, Entei EX provides a different kind of fast pace because not only are you drawing cards, but you are also putting pressure on your opponent very quickly by being able to attack for 60 for just 2 energy. Now what comes up really nicely is that this Charmeleon is so good. This ability Ignition, being able to put that fire energy to your fire active spot, means that when you have two of these and you're drawing through them, so you will find your basics here, right? And you will find your stage 1, your Entei gets to attack for just you committing 2 energy, aka from your energy zone, for 120. So while you place those 2, and then you can place and charge up your Mega Charizard Y in the back, you now are attacking for 120. Entei has not seen love at all, and now it's definitely getting a lot of burn, pun 100% intended, because of the ramp that you can get with Charmeleon. Now what's really interesting to see is that this Charmander is now being used, the 1 for 30, but you discard the fire energy because Flame Patch allows that move to now be very useful, being able to still treat that Ember, that attack, as a resource because you've now discarded energy, means that you can be aggressive, attack their grass, whatever that they might have out there, attack their babies if they have them out there, and you're not behind on energy because you're able to recover that really well. So that's really cool here. And obviously Mega Charizard Y, push the button, something gets deleted. It's just that simple. It does take out itself as well too, which is really great to see. But you are really knocking out every single Pokemon out there, which is really strong. Being able to then position Pokemon out in your opponent's board through a Sabrina or through a Repel, being able to get the extra heal with the Lily. I was surprised to see a rare candy in here because regardless you're ramping, or you're just placing the energy yourself, it's not like you're quickly ramping into it. And we do always like a Charmeleon Entei EX, but this could be like a, I'm stuck with Charmander, I can't do anything else, I don't want to lose next turn, let me just evolve into my Mega Charizard Y because of the 220 HP. So that's in there, yeah, but I think this can be something else as well too, but let me know what y'all think of that as well. Moving on, we have Magnemite, or I should say Magnezone or Ikoria. So this is fun because they made this deck even better, and the reason why I say this is because Magnezone was already a strong deck in the last meta, and they made it better, and we've seen examples of them continuously doing this. Most recent example, Suicune Greninja got the upgrade with Greninja EX and Indeedee EX, making that still a top tier deck. Right now we're seeing this Magnemite that attacks for 1 energy for 30, clearing babies in one go, and for going against the water decks, which I guess this is better to counter Suicunes, but you also just made this deck that was also still pretty good into these other EXs, really hard now to manage because of this Magnemite being able to attack so fast. Yes, it has 50 HP, but that damage does a lot more to you than you think. Then also this second Magnezone here, love it because it's 150 HP. Now this HP does matter on the flip side because now with a giant cape you're at 170 HP. So even if folks are trying to hit you with a Guzma, like there's not a lot of mons that hit for 150 HP, so you're surviving a lot. And when you do it right to those bigger ones, you have Oricorio in the back to help you out here. It's a very interesting choice that we don't see Claremont's backpack to draw into the Magneton, but I think that this player here felt like Copycat and May was just enough to get to there, especially since you also have Oricorio to just stall out what your opponent's doing. And this was kind of run, you know, either double Copycat or May and Copycat last season, and it still did really well. There's nothing wrong with just going with this pairing here. Then we continue to this style. Yep, another Magnezone, because it's really good. So, but this one is actually opting to use the Magnemite, the colorless, because you want to run just Dark Energy here, being able to Volt Charge, being able to have that extra energy here. For the Magnezone, being able to attack with that 90, that 150 damage, having them go through this twice, hitting them with the Darkrai pings as well too, just gives you the opportunity to outlast, and you don't have to worry about your energy losing your energy or committing energy to it. I think that's also one of the cool strong points about this here, right? Once your attack is there, like your energy that's needed, you Volt Charge, you Volt Charge, you Volt Charge, you're locked and loaded for the rest of the match with this Magnezone. So putting that into a deck where Darkrai wants to eat the energy up is pretty cool to be able to see that. The Claremont here being able to give you that plus 20 for the Magnezone attack as well too is pretty clean. Then we go into this other version of Mega Charizard Y, where we see Magby and Entei, one version of each. And there's also just like more and more just different fun things that we see. Like this is one split that actually did well, pretty well as well. There's splits that people are still testing, but I thought it was very fun. But to see the Heatmores do their attack with Magby, and shout out to Zatubi, but he was playing out with Spiritomb, so that way you can double Cyrus whenever you need to. So there again continues to be just different variations of what this looks like. You of course always want to want your non-EX, but at the end of it all, being able to position correctly, being able to ramp up fast into your press big button goes pretty well. And if you notice that they're only running one, which I thought was interesting and like pulled out for this reason, because all in all, you don't need a lot. Like this is gonna be the one. It's already gonna be damaged. It's gonna be attacked. And they're gonna position this after something gets knocked out. So to say that you only need one, obviously you have the second to provide consistency, but that's what Serena is here for, because you're always, that can add to your consistency of getting the Mega Charizard, but then allowing you to have a Magby or an Entei, or even just slow down on the amount of Pokemon that you have to pull from you know, your Pokeball and things like that. So that's pretty cool. I do like that little thought there. This is another Magnezone deck. Like, I honestly, I know that there's like 3 of them in here, but just the fact that there's so much variety of like what this Mon is partnering up with here. So hold on, let me show you. We got the Darkrai, we got the Oricorio, and now we have the Heliolisk. This Heliolisk goes crazy. It's just insane that like it's 120 for 2. Yes, you are losing your energy here, but Magneton, Eternal Battery here, Elemental Switch, bada bing, bada boom. Claremont here, allowing you to attack for plus 20 means those 140 HP mons get knocked out with just one supporter card here. Like it hits pretty decently, and you're able to top deck into Elemental Switch, do it twice in a row. If it finally gets knocked down, then you get to just go into your Magnezone, since you've just been charging with Volt Charge, so you haven't really been losing energy because you've been building it up in the back and consistently doing that. So I love the speed of this, right? Like this stage, you're looking at stage 1s, and by the time that you need this stage 2, you've already been dealing a lot of massive damage with your Heliolisk as well too. So this is really strong. You have a little tad bit of hand disruption, making sure that folks can't run away once you tap them, especially when it comes to those megas. So that's been really cool to see this running around. Not fun to play against. Like it's really hard to deal with a fast 120, and then again to get that as your secondary attack. Then we got the Mega Lopunny. Hitmontop showing it some love for sure. You have the Lucario to boost up 2 energy, 110 damage. Then you can go up to 200 damage because of the fighting coach. You put 2 of those up there, you're talking 220 if you hit double heads. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy levels here. Yes, you need double Lucario, but we look at all the decks and like, what is your maximum output? And when your cards line right, which they will, okay? Which they will, no pun intended, 220 for 2 energy is just nutty. It's just nutty. And one of the cool things is that regardless of whether or not the heads go through, your opponent is still confused. So you continue to try to flip heads, they have to try to flip heads, and so now you're like, now it's all up to fate, but you're giving yourself another chance to, especially to hurt your opponent through this, and I'm like really excited to play around with Mega Lopunny as well here. But having the support of Lucario, being able to have here, Hitmontop being able to attack the front and the bench at the same time is pretty sweet. Another fun one that like kind of creeped out here was like this Porygon Z with NDDEX. Nothing crazy. You got the buggy evolution, you got the slowing beam. This is just to boost up, you know, your defending Pokemon costs 1 more. You get the NDDEX. Folks, I like saw this do well, and I was surprised that it did, given that like you don't need that much rare candy. However, what this still can present, which is why you want to ensure that you're having mons that can take out Chingling, is that you want to be able to deal with this right away, because if you're only stuck with 1 Pokemon, it's really hard to get that second basic out there without the Pokeball. Then we continue into this Whimsicott Gyarados deck. Gyarados works on the bench, y'all. If you didn't know, now you know. Trap Territory, your opponent's active Pokemon retreat costs 1 more, and then Grass Knot, you get 30 more damage for each energy in your opponent's retreat cost. So you get some crazy damage here because Gyarados is a plus 30, 2 Gyarados is a plus 60, plus whatever else is on your opponent's piece here. So this can go into a lot of fun places. You get the quick draw extract for stage 1s is really nice because now you're getting that ability proc or you're getting that attack off right away. So this is like really nice here to speed up into the things that you're trying to do. And you just go hard. What's nice is that, like, you know, if you lose your Whimsicott EX, you can play a second one, right? Like, you don't need to go into the Gyarados. Your Gyarados is mainly here for that ability to pop off, so that way Whimsicott can do its massive damage. Then we have the Mega Venusaur. So this I like a lot. I do. And it's just really sweet to be able to see Mega Venusaur pop off, because we had no idea about Ivysaur. Folks were really scared that this 4 energy was not going to be good, especially with seeing how Charizard attacked for 250, so like and like take everything out. But now if you can ramp, you're really only committing 2 energy to Ivysaur. You're committing the first energy, so that way you can synthesis, and then you jump up to 3 energy, then you evolve, commit the second energy to attack for 120, put your Pokemon to sleep. Charizard don't live that. If they stay asleep, they don't live that. And like, that's just what it comes down to. A lot of these mons. And what's fun is this. If you attack, if you notice that you have a Pokemon that's in front of you that is 140 HP, you don't hit it with Bulbasaur. Reason being is the math works out. If they stay asleep, you attack for 120, then they lose 10 HP because of the poison, so it goes down to 130. Then they only have 10 HP left. If it's sleeping, if there's no healing or no capes, that Pokemon goes down. They have to bring another Pokemon up, and then it's your turn, and you get to attack a fresh Pokemon. So that is just some sneaky plays right there. This was one of the first decks that we tried out ourselves, and this was really fun. They opted to use a Lilligant as another means of ramp, but I do think you can get away with just playing double heal here. They both cost the same amount of energy and same amount of damage to your opponent, but I do like this. And then The 30 for a flip a coin to attack, I like my consistency of hitting for 20 each go, but if you are a more luckier person than I am, then by all means. And then we go to this deck. Grass is winning, y'all. Grass is winning. We go to this deck. Quick Grow Expert helps you build up your Dartrix, helps you build up your Decidueye EX here. You start attacking. Then we go to Sunflora, who attacks for 1 energy for 60 damage because you're using Quick Grow Extract to evolve it into it or to evolve into any of your birds, your grass birds here in the back. So you get to have that because that will forever now be in your discard pile. So that's really cool. And then this Celebi. This Celebi right here, devolving all of these mons is going to be really cool. So the thing is now, like, you want to devolve, you want to try to do as much damage as you can. Being able to chip away with Sunflora is the key here, so that way you can math out in your head, will they get knocked out once I hit them with the Celebi? Because if you've seen with a lot of these decks, a lot of things that they have in common is that rare candy is not really being used, right? Like we see a one of if that, but like they might not, they just choose might not to run it. So I like see here, like you want to be optimal, so you want to continue to chip away, skill dive, pierce the pain, razor leaf, you know, like attack away, and then once one of these goes down, or if you just your EX goes down first after like dealing some massive damage here, then thinking about that 40 after the devolve is gonna be pretty sweet. So let me know, y'all, what do y'all think of the decks? What are you playing right now, and are you excited for the shakeup that this meta seems to have already been taken? As always, y'all, if you like the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you do my silent thing. Catch you on the next one. Peace.